What you're about to watch is part of an online training that I do twice a month inside my Movement Makers program, where I coach entrepreneurs like you how to build an online movement, how to make money from it, and use it to make a huge impact on the world. Enjoy. Movement Makers, great to see you again. Okay, so we're on to something pretty exciting today. This was an interesting topic that I think really holds a lot of people back. You guys, especially for achievers, because you guys know you're capable of more, and you know that you're pushing other people to do great things, and at the same time, you're not doing all the things that you should be doing, right? Does that relate? It's like, you know that you could be doing more, you know that you're doing more than your friends and the people around you, but how many days you go, maybe even days or weeks in a row, where it's like, okay, I played small. I was afraid. I didn't do what I should have, right? And we beat ourselves up. And the point isn't to just lay more beats on you. The point is to be able to make progress. And so today's theme, which I'm super excited by, is how to build the resilience mindset to overcome obstacles and get back up quickly. Let's dive in. One of the things I get asked the most when I do podcasts, interviews, I'm on somebody's show, Clubhouse, they say, what are your non-negotiables? You know, what's the thing that you have to do every single day? Or what's your morning routine? And what is non-negotiable, has to happen all the time? And I don't really have anything that's absolutely non-negotiable. I think the closest thing is connection to Nina. If I look at our relationship over the past decade, I don't know that there's been a single day that I haven't connected with Nina. Now, obviously, when I'm home, that's easy. But when I'm traveling and I'm away, every day, at least, I'm checking in once just to see how she's doing, even on the craziest of crazy days. But apart from that, there's nothing that has to be every single day. And I think one of the challenges that we come up with for ourselves is we feel like we have to be perfect. We got perfectionists in the house. Are you a perfectionist? Because I know I am. I'm a recovering perfectionist. You know, I lost that $40 million deal when I was 20 because I was trying to be perfect. And I still want things to be perfect. The problem is when we don't hit our mark, what we end up doing is nothing. You know, when we don't actually go and accomplish what we don't want to feel like a loser. We don't want to feel less than. And so we just spend our time on something else instead of actually starting to build momentum for the dreams that we have. So I found this awesome graphic of the perfect morning routine. You know, like wake up before you have to and go, make a cup of your happy beverage, spend time doing something you enjoy, say something nice about yourself, go outside, get some sun, eat a good breakfast, be kind to yourself, open your windows, write down how you can best meet your needs for the day. You know, we have this concept of what our perfect morning routine is, and that's great, but this might take 2 hours and we don't always follow through perfectly. I am never 100% on my morning routine every month. If you look at my morning routine and what I do every month, I don't think there's been a single month where I'm hitting it 100% of the time. And that's normal. And that's fine. And that's okay. It's not expecting to be perfect, but it's expecting to do the best that we can. Because life will throw circumstances at you. Life will throw obstacles at you. And what we often do when we're trying to be perfect, again, is we're either perfect or we're nothing. And that's the problem. And there are a few days where we can be perfect. There are a few days where you can get your perfect days down. But then what happens when you come up against some obstacle? What often happens too much, even for achievers, we're talking achievers here. We're not talking to people who have no goals, no aspirations, no dreams. Achievers will still do nothing because it can't be perfect. And so I want to start to blur that line a little bit. So it's not perfect or zero, that we're always trying to do the best we can. So we're proud of our effort. I saw this and I loved it. If the version of you from 5 years ago could see you right now, they'd be so proud. Keep going. And this is often what we need to remind ourselves of. When you feel like you're not perfect, when you feel like you're not getting results, when you feel like you let yourself down, your family down, your community down, the people around you down, that's the time to reflect back and say, hey, where was I 5 years ago? Look at all of you. 5 years ago, where were you? Come on now. Compared to what you're doing right now, the projects you're working on, the ventures you're involved in, the communities you're part of, the you from 5 years ago would not recognize the you right now today. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves of that. When we fall off of our perfect horse, how do you get back up quickly, right? This is the theme of the day. You remind yourself of the journey that you've been on. Because what we need to do is get back to the consistency. So you get back on the horse and keep going. How do we get back on the horse? This will help. Look at the journey. Look at how much you've grown. Look at how much you've done. Look at how much you've accomplished. Look at all the lives that you've impacted, the people that you've helped, how much you've learned and grown and gotten better. Because it helps to get rid of the pity party that I'm not perfect now. I didn't do it, so now I'm 0. It's not 0 or 100, right? 97 is a great score. Let's remind ourselves of that and keep going, because the consistency is going to be the thing that gets you to where you go. It's not the perfect. It's the consistency that will get you where you need to go. Terry, I'm definitely in a different space from 5 years ago. I love it. Pablo in the house says, hola. Marcus, recovering perfectionist. Listen, I think everybody here is a recovering perfectionist. I think achievers are perfectionists. We know it can be better. We want it to be better. And so this is how we stop getting in our own way. This is a great quote I came across from Cassie Stevens, who's our teacher. She's a creator. She said, we see kids start to become perfectionists and we see them start to struggle. We need to guide the way for them and keep the joy in art. And this is a great message for kids, but it's also a great message for you. It's a great message for you. Like, how many adults, how many thought leaders, how many creators, how much great art of yours has not come out because you were struggling with being a perfectionist? I know there's lots of things that I didn't release, especially early on, because I was afraid it wasn't good enough. It wasn't perfect, that I would be critiqued, that I could do better. And as a result, I didn't release it. This isn't just a kid's thing. This is a human thing. And again, especially for achievers, because we want to achieve, we want to win, we want to get the gold medal. We want the results. And we're afraid to release something that doesn't get the results. But that becomes the game, because a lot of the things that you create, you never know if it's actually going to win or not. A lot of my best videos, all of the best videos on my channel, I would never have pegged to say, that's the one that's going to win. Never. And a lot of the ones that I love the most didn't do well. It's like, man, really? You guys don't like that video? Come on now. I love that one. So it makes a really big difference to just get your art out there, to stop judging, to stop critiquing, and just release. And what I find really helpful with this is tomorrow you release again, and the next day you release again, and the next day you release again. So it's not so much pressure on this one thing being perfect, because you're going to create another one and another one and another one and another one. We need to put the art back into your content. Okay. When you overthink it and try to make it perfect all the time, you suck the creativity and the art out of it. Creativity is messy. Art is messy. It's not going to be perfect at the beginning. That's the whole point. And we struggle with that. So what helps is just not expecting to be perfect. Don't expect it to be, especially at the beginning. Don't expect it to be perfect. That's why we do the 100 video challenge. I want you to expect to suck at the beginning. Like, just expect to suck. Release yourself of the burden of it being fantastic. Expect it to be terrible. Expect to look back on your first video and be embarrassed. But after you get through 10, after you get through 20, after you get through 50, after you get through 100, you look back and say, holy cow, I got so much better. People who've gone through the 100 video challenge, even a couple videos in, 10 videos in, start to say, wow, I'm already so much better. I made it too big a project. And as a result, I did nothing. So stop expecting to be perfect. Sing your own song because you can sing. Alain says, 5 years ago, I had not met Evan. Appreciate you, man. Progress over perfection, says Drew. I love it. You can't mess up art because you can always paint over it and do it again. On. So right now, I had to remind myself of that going into what I'm doing right now, because I've been with my son for the past 3 weeks, and we've got a little more time together before he starts to go back to school. And I wanted to really make it count. And as a result, I have done very little on my business usual stuff. I got way ahead on YouTube, so content is coming up. Got way ahead on Instagram, all that stuff. So content is coming up, but I'm not doing my IG lives. I'm not doing any podcasts, any interviews. I'm not meeting with my team. I'm not doing all the stuff that I usually do that I love to do. I don't see it as work. You know, when I meet with Alex or Drew on a Monday, it's not like, oh man, gotta meet that Alex guy. Right? I don't see it as work. This is what I love to do. This is great. But I also want to be intentional with my time while Hayden is here. And as a result, I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up on my usual commitments. And so Angela sent this amazing message to me on my DMs on Instagram that I wanted to share. It's like, okay, I get it, man. Believe Nation is missing you. You are missed on Instagram. 2 p.m. is so boring. You are loved. So glad you're enjoying your family time. Everyone looks really happy. So good to see you. Love you all. And she's saying that because 2 o'clock Eastern, I would go live on Instagram. 2 o'clock Eastern, I go live on Instagram. It's either me with a guest or me. Sometimes movement makers pop in and we do a roundtable, which is super fun. Or I just coach people live. I never know what's going to happen on a Tuesday. Or sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, doing my Instagram lives. But I'm not doing it. I haven't done it in 3 weeks. Mr. Consistency hasn't done it in 3 weeks because I'm trying to be intentional and spend that time with my son. So apart from Movement Makers Brandlytics, I'm not doing any of my usual commitments. And so some people, Angel is very warm and loving. This is a great message. Some people aren't as warm or loving. Some people are more attacking and critical. It's like, yo, where are you? Where's the Instagram lives? When do I get my turn? It's like, dude, come on, I'm doing something else right now. And so I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not going in thinking I can do everything, but I'm trying to be intentional with the time that I'm spending. So don't expect to be perfect. If you want to watch the full version of this video, as well as train live with me twice a month to help you build your movement and be around some other amazing people just like you, check out my Movement Makers program. The link to join is right there next to me. Can't wait to see you there. Continue to believe and go join.